got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Oh, and happy April Fool's Day. I wish this wasn't the day that Congress was having their first JFK hearing in modern times, but it is. I guess it's when their schedules worked out. But there's been a lot of speculation. Will Anna Paulina Luna get her hands on that video from NBC supposedly exonerating Lee Harvey Oswald? Because apparently in that video it shows Lee Harvey Oswald near JFK's car around the time of the assassination, meaning he couldn't have gotten up to the window that he was in to fire the fatal bullet. So is that him? Does it prove that? Well, Chumbles sent me this awesome picture, or these series of pictures, seeming to show what that video might actually be showing. It may not actually be showing Lee Harvey Oswald, but this guy named Billy Loveless, who looks an awful lot like him. It really, really does. And you can see why some people might think that was him, but apparently not so fast. That's not actually him. That is a guy named Billy Loveless. So is that what the video that Anna Paulina Luna is talking about? Is that what it shows? Or is it something completely different? Is it actually Oswald? Who knows? Who knows? But we'll see if the JFK hearing turns up anything or reveals anything very shortly. So I'll definitely be curious to see what they do. Oh yeah, meanwhile, a gang of robber crabs invade a family picnic in Australia. It's not aliens, but it's pretty close. Can you imagine being on picnic and seeing these guys? Wow. Well, I guess you could just fry them up, right? Just add to the party. Oh gosh. Anyway, meanwhile, a great article from Christopher Sharp from Liberation Times about Immaculate Constellation. Immaculate Constellation made a big buzz when it was first revealed, and Michael Schellenberger came out in front of Congress and was talking about it, and we had known about it a little bit beforehand. And there was a little dust up between Jeremy Corbell and Schellenberger about who actually provided that information. But dust up aside, it's a really interesting program, likely a very important program. So what does Christopher Sharp have to say about it? He says, since November 2024, there has been no forward movement, no further hearings, no official testimony from the whistleblower who was introduced to congressional members, no UAP select committee, no UAP czar, no executive orders, just a wall of silence. And there remain disturbing allegations which have not been followed up. Meanwhile, the DoD has denied involvement. When contacted by Liberation Times, the DoD spokesperson Susan Goff, or Go, I can never remember how to say that, the Department of Defense, she says, has no record, present or historical, of any type of SAP, Special Access Program, called Immaculate Constellation. Technically, she may be correct, Chris says, but here's where the story takes a new turn. According to sources familiar with the matter, Immaculate Constellation may not fall under the DoD at all. Oh, and by the way, if you're not familiar with Immaculate Constellation, it seems to be some sort of parent program of the UFO control group. And parent program, meaning there are sub-programs that radiate out from under it. A really interesting program. And now Christopher Sharp is saying that's actually may not even be with the Department of Defense. Instead, it could be overseen by the National Security Council, the President's Principal Forum for Coordinating National Security and Foreign Policy, uniting military, intelligence, and diplomatic agencies under a single executive umbrella. This explanation would align with what journalist Jeremy Corbell has suspected. He told Liberation Times, the NSC, the National Security Council, can oversee special access programs, especially if a SAP or USAP falls under, and that's an unacknowledged special access program, a USAP, falls under presidential purview or requires interagency coordination at the highest level, which Immaculate Immaculate Constellation would absolutely require. The NSC wouldn't run the USAP in any operational sense, but would play a key role in their authorization, oversight, or strategic direction, particularly if the president deems the issue critical to national security, and would coordinate multiple agencies without running its day-to-day operations. This is especially plausible for USAPs that are so sensitive that they are shielded from standard congressional oversight, as this arrangement also supports the possibility of maintaining secrecy. And that's actually really significant if they have found a workaround to congressional oversight that's not technically illegal. If it's going through the executive branch, can it escape congressional oversight while maintaining legality? Because it'd be really interesting and maybe very significant if these black budget programs that create the UFO control group, a large part of it, if they're illegal. That has been the thinking, that these programs are actually illegal. Congress is not allowed to oversee these programs, and thus they are illegal. But what if there's a workaround? If they're going through the executive branch, does that escape congressional scrutiny? I don't know. The described mission of Immaculate Constellation would absolutely fall under this value system. A USAP so sensitive that it dodges congressional eyes requires the NSC's oversight. It's inevitable. This is a core function of the UFO cover-up by a legacy architecture, obfuscating from the public the UFO presence reality. We will learn more about this soon, directly from whistleblowers familiar with the matter. Well, I hope Jeremy is right about that. I hope we hear more about that when we get our next UFO hearing. They're already, buzzing about it, but we'll see. If correct, Christopher Sharp says, it raises urgent concerns regarding a lack of action from the Trump administration and whether figures are attempting to thwart any investigations within the National Security Council and the wider defense and intelligence infrastructure. It would also explain why Gang of Eight members believe the DoD is still mystified by previous drone incursions. The wider allegation from UAP whistleblowers is that information is being hidden from them. So, yeah, really, really intriguing stuff. Now, it's hard to imagine, hard for me to imagine anyway, that, the executive branch is, particularly aware of this. Because, this is many presidents that have come and gone since this was originally enacted. So are they all in on it? Are both sides of the aisle in on this? It doesn't matter who the president is, they're maintaining the cover-up. Well, certainly that may very well be the case. Trump, I believe, definitely knows more than he is letting on. And I'm sure many other presidents fall in that same category. But how directly involved are they in this? Are they actually directing things? What are they being briefed on? What do they know? How involved are they in it? I kind of imagine they were always kind of outside the loop on most of this, and they weren't directly involved because, they transition from president to president every few years, from party to party. How can the UFO control group allow them to have, much, input into what's going on? But hey, maybe they do. I think this is really interesting, and we definitely need to continue investigating this. And, we have great people like Christopher Sharp and Schallenberger and Jeremy Corbell that are trying to get to the truth of all of this. Where is the UFO control group? Under what auspices does it exist? Will we ever find out? And what can we do about it? Well, hopefully we're going to find out, guys. Hopefully we're going to find out in the very near future. Meanwhile, what the heck is this thing? This is from Scott Waring. This is my personal discovery years ago, he says, and it's 100% proof that aliens create pyramid structures. Click on the video to enlarge. It links to the pyramids in Egypt and the alien complex below it, which hides one of the emerald tablets. They say they contain answers to everything in our universe. All right, I'll bite. So we got a pyramid on an asteroid. All right, this is from 1993, the RQ-36 asteroid, supposedly. And this is what looks like an artificial structure on that asteroid. It also kind of looks like stop motion. So I don't know. But yeah, there's a zoom in of that object. You can see more clear delineated lines if you squint. It really does look pyramidal. But let's just say this is a real asteroid in real footage. Could that thing be a natural formation of some sort? Yeah, I think it could. I think that could totally be a natural formation of some sort. It could also be a pyramid. Why are they building pyramids on asteroids? I don't know, but let me know what you think about this really intriguing footage of a potential pyramid on an asteroid. Let's see. Yeah, what else do we have? Oh, yeah, Scott Waring also shared this, which I thought was really interesting. This has been going around, and I've actually shared this before, but because it is making the rounds again, I thought I would share it again with you. What the heck is this thing? Because I like how it has a structure to it. You can clearly see this structured thing, whatever it is. It doesn't look like a strictly nuts and bolts deal, but you can see it's got like spokes coming out of it. It's got a, central hub of some sort. But then the way it moves is just so weird. Yeah. So, I mean, is this CGI? Is this total BS? What is this? But this has been around for a little while. And again, I've shared it before, but it's a cool sighting. It's a cool sighting. Here's another cool sighting. Shared by Brandon Fugel this past week at Skinwalker Ranch while the team was conducting follow-up experiments and survey work with Pete Kelsey. Yeah, sometimes my mouth works better than other times. Yeah, and you get these helicopters. I guess these are the black helicopters that will appear over Skinwalker Ranch from time to time. Very, very strange, very mysterious things. But Gonzalo Chavez is pointing out that object you just saw by that looks, what is that? Is that a dragon UFO? Checking these helicopters out as dragon UFOs do. Is that a bug or a bird just close to the lens, making it look like it's going super fast, but really it's just a bug or a bird flying close to the lens? Totally possible. When we zoom in on this thing or when we slow it down, it's kind of interesting because right around the edges of this thing and behind it, sometimes it seems to leave a little smeary trail. Yeah, and yeah, you can see a double of it. I don't know if that's just because it's going so fast. There you go again, that double of it. You see the object and then you see that thing right there. Could just be a camera artifact, but it is interesting because it does have this little film around it. Are those wings? Are those something else? What is that? Yeah. Really, really interesting footage. Yeah, it could be a bug, could be a bird, could be a dragon UFO. And if you're not familiar with the term dragon UFO or dragon UAP, that's a term coined by Dr. Robert Shipe of California, who has pioneered the research into studying these small UFOs that will buzz aerial vehicles. Helicopters and planes, especially police and military helicopters and planes, but they'll buzz pretty much anything. It doesn't even have to be a vehicle. It can be a balloon or something. And I've had him on the channel a couple times for some really fascinating interviews, but I highly recommend his YouTube channel, Custodian File, where he has a whole bunch of these dragon UFOs caught on camera. Meanwhile, remember the cool angel video shared by Jake Barber? He says a neighbor caught that video or filmed that video catching that angelic looking UFO, whatever the heck it was, which seems to have been something that Jake Barber and his Skywatcher group may have invited in with their, psionic process. Jordan Crowder is sharing a very similar UFO. He says, this UFO was flying silently over my room in Palm Springs last summer. Looks exactly like the one you just shared. You can't tell by the video, but it was a cube in a clear circle. Okay, all right, let's give a listen or a watch. There we go. Okay, a cube in a clear circle. That's what he says it actually was. It certainly doesn't look like that from the video, but yeah, it sure looks exactly like that thing that Jake Barber was sharing, the video captured by his neighbor. Wow. So I think we've got a new category of UFOs. Of course, the cube in a circle thing reminds me of the story shared by Ryan Graves and the pilots aboard the Roosevelt, who were seeing UFOs almost on a daily basis in the mid 2010s. And of course, that's where we get the gimbal and the go fast videos from. Yeah, and one of those objects, which was I think a cube in a circle or a circle in a cube, nearly collided with some of the jet fighters. Is that what this thing is? Or is this something completely different? Either way, I think this is definitely a very intriguing, anomalous sighting. Unlikely, in my mind, to be a drone or anything mundane. But let me know what you guys think. Daniel Soda says, same thing back in June 2024. Check it out. He captured this, back in June. Really amazing capture of what looks like, pretty much the exact sort of thing. I think that's fantastic. We've got a new category of cubes and circles that actually present as these angelic looking whatever they are. Meanwhile, UFO Mania says, what is this? Witness statement. Saw this fly over me at low altitude today. It looks like a Photoshop, but I saw it with my own eyes. And this is a phenomenon that I've heard about before, where UFOs will present as planes, but they kind of either get it wrong or they deliberately, let it be known that it's not a plane because it'll have two fuselages. This is a thing. This is a phenomenon of some sort. I don't know if its cloaking device has gone wrong or if they're just kind of cluing us in. And, who knows? This could be Photoshop. This could be fake. But I just wanted to draw your attention to this because this does seem to be a real thing that people do see from time to time. Speaking of Ryan Graves, his new organization is trying to bring pilots forward to talk about their own UFO experiences. And here he is relating one of the recent ones.
This one's maybe not perfectly recently, but 737 coming within 500 feet of a black triangle at about 15,000 feet as they were climbing, nose to nose, 180 degrees out. Both pilot and the co-pilot saw it. Air traffic control had nothing on their radar. Described it the same. Centralized, glowing, I believe, blue light on the apexes of the triangle, as well as one in the center that was more purple. About 200 yards per edge. Bigger than the 737. 500 feet is very close. That's basically a merge, in a jet with another jet, set up a dogfight. So they were pretty shooken up by that event, as you can imagine. And this was actually the pilot that drug tested himself after the flight.
Yeah, I would too. That's a crazy experience. Can you imagine seeing that massive UFO so close to your plane? Wow, what the heck was that thing doing? Was it being deliberately provocative? Did it just not care there was a plane there? Was it trying to create unsafe air conditions just to get noticed and to get people talking about it? Is that why the mystery drones are running around shutting down airports and military installations? Are they trying to get us to talk about them? Well, what is the deal? Either way, it seems very alarming, but an amazing encounter. Possibly another similar incident shared by Wixie. Tampa, Florida. A drone nearly hits a plane. All right, let's check it out. March 21st. Yeah, hard to tell how close that thing is to the plane. And, that could be just a total human drone, but it could not be. Either way, definitely looks like it's too close for my comfort. Meanwhile, Truth Poll is reminding us about the Miami Mall incident. What the heck happened there, guys? We still don't have any answers. What about all those police body cams that should be FOIA-able? It's been plenty of time by now, where we had 100 to 200 police cruisers show up for this incident, all out of proportion to the public reveal of the arrest of a few teenagers with fireworks. Definitely not what galvanized that massive police response. And multiple people on the ground, witnesses saying their cameras were searched and photos deleted or whatever. So what the heck happened in Miami? And will we ever get any answers? Last but not least, dog recognizing their owner after 2 years away. All right, let's see if he recognizes him. All right, notices him, and boom. Love it. Love it. All right, let me know what you think about this awesome dog and his owner and everything else covered today in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's also Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Rumble links below. You can buy one of my books to support the channel. See the links below. You can become a channel member because channel members are rock stars. You can grab a coffee mug or a t-shirt. See the merch store below. And there's plenty of other videos on the channel. And I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.